Hi, Math 2. Today we're going to review what you learned in class, and that was how to solve a radical equation. So an equation with a square root. So our first step here is we want to get the radical alone. We want to get the square root sign and everything inside of it all by itself. So to isolate the square root, we need to get rid of anything that's being added, subtracted, or multiplied to it. Here we're subtracting 4 from the radical. So we're going to move that -4 to the other side by adding 4 to both sides. Remember, we do the opposite because a -4 plus 4 is 0, and that will cancel out. So we have the square root of 2x plus 1, and that's going to be equal to a positive 3. Our next step, after isolating the radical sign, is to get rid of our square root. So we have to do the opposite of a square root, which is square both sides. Now the square and the square root cancel out, and we just have 2x plus 1 inside, and then 3 squared is 9. And then we're going to solve this just like we would any normal equation, where we would subtract 1 here first. So we get 2x equals 8, and then divide by 2, and we get that x is 4. Now you learned today about extraneous solutions. And extraneous solutions are solutions that when you plug back in, they actually don't work with the equation. So we need to plug it back in just to double check. So we have the square root of 2 times x, so 2 times 4 plus 1, minus 4 outside the radical, and that equals -1. So to make sure it's correct, we should get, when we simplify it down, -1 equals -1. So we get 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9, so we get the square root of 9 minus 4 equals -1. The square root of 9 is 3, so does 3 minus 4 equal -1? It does. So we get -1 equals -1, and we know that when we plug 4 in for x, it makes the equation true. So this is our answer.